Hello, welcome back, Recapped Mystery here. Today, I'm going to explain a thriller, adventure, action movie named Speed. Watch out and take care. A security guard is inspecting a basement and comes upon a repairman who claims to be only checking the wiring, but the man informs him he shouldn't be here and requests a work order. Instead, the repairman stabs him. Employees exit the lift after a meeting in the workplace. Someone within the building pushes a button anonymously, and the cables holding the lift snap. The lift starts to fall apart. Police officers come on the scene to assist. Lieutenant Mack alerts his crew that 13 passengers are trapped in a lift beneath floor 30. The terrorist demands $3.7 million or he will explode the elevator's emergency brakes. The officers realize they just have 23 minutes to act. They can only enter the building through access panels, and the lift hatch has been wired to detonate the bomb. Officer Jack and Detective Harry offer to investigate. They race to the nearest access panel, which is on floor 32, and enter the shaft to discover it on top of the lift. Inside, people are concerned and want to know what is going on. Jack and Harry explain that they work for the LAPD and that the incident is simply a malfunction. Meanwhile, Howard, the bomber, is closely listening to their chat. Harry asks Jack what he would do if a gunman was using a hostage as cover at an airport and Jack was only 100 feet away. He claims he would shoot the hostage to prevent the gunman from boarding the plane and injuring the other passengers. Harry believes Jack is insane. Jack tries to assist the passengers by designing a way to remove them from the equation, removing any leverage for them. Howard, he hangs himself upside down with a cord and hooks himself to the lift. Howard hears them and slams on the brakes. The people in the lift panic and fall down. The hook Jack fastened is tied to a crane, and because to extreme strain, it collapses, causing the lift to descend before becoming trapped again. Jack pries open the access panel and reaches out to the terrified passengers. He then takes the passengers out one by one. One woman in particular is terrified, but they are able to save her as well. Jack realizes the bomber is still inside the building. They discover he is hidden in the goods lifts and attempt to approach him, but he opens fire on Jack and Harry. Howard eventually cornered them in the lift, taunting Jack while holding Harry prisoner. As they exit the lifts, Jack shoots Harry in the leg due to the dire conditions. Howard completely destroys the place. In an official ceremony, Harry and Jack are being awarded Valor Medals for their bravery and service. They are praised for saving the 13 passengers on the lift. Howard is believed to have died in the explosion of his own bomb, but he is actually watching the event on TV and mocking the clapping. The policemen are ecstatic with their accomplishment. They realize they were fortunate to survive because Howard could have blown them up. Harry then returns home. Jack is enjoying coffee and pastries in Santa Monica. He is conversing with a bus driver pal. Later, as he is preparing to drive away, his bus explodes out of nowhere. He chases after the bus, perplexed. A nearby payphone rings. When Jack answers the phone, Howard answers on the other end. He claims he worked on the lift job for 2 years before it failed. He claims to have an incredible amount of dedication. He attracted Jack's attention by blowing up the bus. He is adamant about receiving his $3.7 million. He asks Jack what he would do if a bus had a bomb on it. The bomb explodes if the bus's speed falls below 50 miles per hour, and it is activated when the bus first reaches that speed. Jack says he'd like to know what kind of bus it is. Howard tells him to follow the rules and tells him where the bus is. He also tells him that no passenger should get off the bus or he will blow the device, and that he requires the money by 11 a.m. Annie, a woman from Venice, rushes onto a bus bound for downtown. Jack is chasing the bus at full speed. Inside the bus, everyone is quiet and composed. Their biggest concern is getting to their destination on time, as they have to slow down due to traffic. Jack pursues after the bus, eventually getting out of his car and running towards it. He attempts to persuade them to stop. He struggles to express that he is with the LAPD, but they do not halt the bus. Jack steals a stranger's automobile and dangerously chases the bus. Meanwhile, the bus exceeds 50 miles per hour, triggering the explosives. Jack exclaims at the driver, "There's a bomb on the bus," and orders him to keep the speed above 50 miles per hour. He contacts Harry and informs him that the bomber is still alive. Jack manages to board the bus and attempts to inform the passengers of the current situation, when a man pulls a pistol on him. Jack defends himself with his own gun. He eventually puts it away and attempts to maintain control of the situation. While the gunman is cooling down, a passenger, Ortiz, attempts to take control of him. The gun's trigger is pulled, and the bullet strikes the driver, seriously injuring him. The passengers are explicitly informed by Jack that there is a bomb aboard the bus. Annie takes the wheel, and the cops prepare to take action as they flee in choppers. Howard is watching everything on TV with bated breath. Jack and Harry chat on the phone as Jack describes the bomb's configuration: an absurd amount of C4, 3 triggers, and a countdown set on a gold wristwatch. They crash through a lot of stuff as they strive to stay above 50. Annie makes every effort to keep the bus moving. Howard is intently listening to the news and watching American football at the same time, both of which he is thoroughly enjoying. Harry and his colleagues talk about the bomber and realize he knows a lot about bombs, utilizing a fresh design each time rather than sticking to one type. He also knows every police countermeasure. Harry takes this as his cue and proceeds to check through cop files over the last 10 years. Mac and Jack maintain communication and attempt to deal with the situation. Annie continues to drive the bus wildly in order to prevent the bomb from detonating. Mac is sitting inside a chopper, giving Jack instructions on how to safely reach the police troops and acquire the assistance they require. An extremely sharp bend comes around, but Jack and the passengers manage to balance the bus and make it past the corner. The cops are ready to save the people on one end, while the bus follows the prescribed route. Jack appreciates Annie's assistance in driving the bus in these difficult circumstances. She inquires as to why the bomber is after them. Jack informs her that he is after him. He is enthralled by playing games with the authorities. If Jack saves everyone today, there will be another game tomorrow, and so on. Harry urges his colleagues to search the pension money since he assumes the bomber is incapacitated. He's not LAPD, but he's close. He believes he has seen him before. Mac and the officials arrive and attempt to get the passengers out in some way. Jack informs them that they cannot remove the people from the bus because he will notice them and set off the bomb. Mac informs him that there is a possibility he may be a cop. Howard summons Jack. He bargains with Howard and is successful in getting the injured driver off the bus. Helen, a woman aboard the bus, becomes frantic and attempts to leap off in order to reach the authorities safely, but Howard blows up the front of the bus. The woman falls out and appears to be hit by a bus. The passengers become agitated and begin arguing with one another. The atmosphere is tight. Jack visits Annie and calms her, as she is distraught. She is grateful to be alive but also feeling guilty. Jack assures her that she should not feel guilty because if Helen had gotten away, Howard would have slaughtered them all. Mac informs Jack that the motorway is still under construction. Therefore there is a 50-foot gap in the route. Jack decides that they should continue going over 50 miles because it is an interchange and may have an inclination. He orders everyone on the bus to keep their heads down as they reach the gap. They fly over the incomplete piece of the interchange and mysteriously land on the opposite side when they reach it. Everyone is thrilled and congratulates one another. Jack directs Annie to the exit that goes to the air freight terminals at Los Angeles International Airport. They hurry for the airport because the choppers can't follow them and Howard can't keep up. Howard and Jack are on the phone, and he is demanding his money, insisting that he earned it. He informs Jack that he also received a medal, a pink slip, and an apology for his hand being harmed. Jack persuades Howard to let him leave the bus alone so he may confront the authorities about Howard's demands face to face. He agrees, ordering Jack to return swiftly and not to betray him. While he's gone, Jack instructs Annie to continue circling the airport runway. He contacts Mac, who proposes sending the people out, but Jack is frightened that he will blow up the bus. Knowing that he has always been one step ahead of them, he determines that he must dismantle the bomb. The passengers on the bus are perplexed as to what is going on. Mac warns Jack that they won't be able to maintain their ground for long. He claims he only needs a few minutes. Harry is speaking with him on the phone. Jack is attached to a cable as he descends beneath the bus while resting on a mechanic's creeper. With Harry's assistance and guidance, he works on disassembling the device. Because it is a foldable circuit, they realize they can't bypass it. Authorities identify the bomber as Howard Payne, a former member of the Atlanta Police Department's bomb squad who retired in 1989 owing to a minor offense that left him with 9 fingers. Harry and his comrades make the decision to go after him. Jack is stuck under the bus and repeatedly swerves. Ortiz offers to assist him. The cable snaps. While attempting to hold on, Jack punctures the fuel tank. Annie is terrified because she believes she has run over him. Ortiz opens the bus floor and pulls him out. Barely holding on, Jack instructs Mac to seek assistance in dealing with the gasoline tank problem. Harry and his men break into Howard's home. He dupes them by putting a bomb in the residence. It goes off when it detects them. During the process, Harry is slain. When Jack receives a call, he believes it is from Harry, but Howard answers instead. He notifies Jack that Harry has passed away. He mockingly speculates that the watch he attached to the device as a retirement gift brought Harry to him. He threatens him once more, warning that if he does not collect his money, they will all perish. He refers to Annie as a wildcat when speaking. He mentions a location for depositing the money. Annie's University of Arizona jersey catches Jack's eye. He realizes he's referring to Annie when he says wildcat. This implies that he can see inside the bus. He has video evidence but no audio. Jack instructs everyone to maintain a normal appearance and to simply stare ahead. They tape the seemingly monotonous environment of the bus. Mac orders the press to get off the air and plays the bus recording on loop. Howard has been duped for the time being. Meanwhile, the officials successfully evacuate everyone from the bus. Jack and Annie are the only survivors. They lock the gas pedal and eventually get out by using the opening panel in the bus floor as a support underneath them. The bus collides with a goods plane and explodes. As the passengers observe from a safe distance, massive and violent explosions occur. Jack and Annie are both safe and content. Mac keeps an eye on them. They are being treated medically. Howard calls again, this time to want money. They realize he has no idea the device exploded. Mac promises to bring the money in 30 minutes. The authorities arrive at Howard's location and totally surround the place. Jack and Annie are in the back of an ambulance. Jack exits and promises to return. The money is used to plant a paint bomb by the authorities. Sanitation workers dispose of the bags in a trash container. Howard notices the officials hiding in various spots with their rifles pointing towards the money collection area. He attempts to detonate the bomb on the bus but realizes he has been duped by the looped footage playing on TV. He poses as a cop and takes Annie away. Meanwhile, the authorities are wondering where he is because the money has yet to be collected. Jack is well aware that he is never late. As Jack discovers a hole under the garbage can through which he escaped, it is revealed that he has the money and is on the run. Annie is discovered by Jack in an underground tube area with bombs all over her. Howard appears and orders her to fill a bag with the money. Jack instructs him to accept the money and leave Annie alone. Howard explains coldly about how bombs are built to explode. He eventually abandons her. He proceeds to terrorize people with his weapon and meets her on the tube. Jack arrives at the railway station just in time. Howard murders the driver. He tortures Annie with his heartless comments, telling her that the bomb will hurt less if it explodes. He becomes irritated when he discovers the paint bomb inside his money bag. On the train's roof, Jack and Howard engage a one-on-one combat. His skull collides with a railway signal, and he falls off. Mac informs Jack that the track ahead is not complete. They are unable to halt the train and must jump. Annie is handcuffed to a pole, making the situation more difficult. They try to release her, but it doesn't work. Jack chooses to accelerate the locomotive and ride it out. They sit and clasp hands. The train enters the turn and splits into multiple sections. The section containing them lands on the road outside the construction zone. They are relieved to have survived and begin kissing as people marvel at their survival. Please subscribe to assist the channel, turn on notification and leave a like. Thank you for taking the time to watch. See you again soon.